When we say God, He created the whole world in 6 days, you know, in the Old Testament, it says that a day for God is equal to 1,000 of our time. But it was not really metaphorical. It's just to tell you that God is out of our time. What is day for us, what is day for God is like 1,000 years for us. But doesn't mean it's really 1,000 years. Actually, I believe that there's no time for God. You know, God is eternal, so there's no time. And even science proves if you change location, even a human being, if you take him to a different galaxy, he might live a lot longer, or maybe a lot shorter. You know what I mean? So changing your location can change your age. Time is relative, correct. Now, the Bible is making it clear that time to God is mean nothing. So when God, He says 6 days, is that really 6 days? It's a simple story about the creation of God to tell us that I am the one who created everything for you. I am the one who presented everything for you. But it's not really about giving details step by step. Otherwise, the Bible will not be a few hundred pages. It's going to be a few million pages. Or a few million books, actually. To describe how mosquito is made, you need a lot of books just for a mosquito. So imagine if God were to write for us everything He created, how He made it. Same time, as long as the atheists, they don't believe in God unless they can see God. Well, how they believe in science when they don't see science? Like as an example, they say the Big Bang. Nobody witnessed it, nobody was there, and there's no proof of it. It's a theory. So how come you believe in something you never saw, you never witnessed, and you cannot prove? And you are asking the Christian for the same thing. Katizo, you go, you come back, you change your name. I don't care. You know, you wanna just to say stupid things, it's up to you. Fiction is a fiction, and science is a fiction too. All the science you see today, it was a fiction one day. Guys, anyone watch the old movies about the war space? About going to the moon, etc. But this is before they go to the moon. Is that correct? Long before they go to the moon, it was a fiction. Fiction is science. Actually, one of the sources of science is fictions. You imagine something and you try to work to make it happen. It's a fiction. And by time, the fiction either is going to be real or is going to stay fiction. And if you believe in fiction, the fiction will become real anyway. Like, you know, when an atheist, he believes in the Big Bang. But it's a fiction. Never witnessed, never saw, no proof of it. It's a fiction, but he believes in it, and he teaches it in schools. And he tried to enforce his ideas on us. Very simple question for the atheist. There's nobody can answer. They say that the original of life was was one cell, something like this. An accident happened, and that cell start developing itself. That's wonderful. How the cell was able to come to an idea that I can make a male and female? How the cell was able to develop a heart and a kidney and this complicated system and nerves and the eye, and how the eye works. The cell, she drew a map for an eye and took her millions of years to make it happen. It's a stupid. The cell decide to draw a vagina and the penis and decide how the vagina look like and how the penis look like. Do you know those two parts, how many things come as a part of their functioning? It's amazing how the cell can do that. Can you know, a human being now, he have his whole brain, whole computers, whole laboratory, and they cannot make a penis. Go make one. If the stupid cell took it 1 billion years to make a penis, why you cannot make it today with all the science you have? Make an eye. I want to see the science make an eye. Science is nothing but a fiction, and mixed with some facts. Not all of them are facts. If you go to a doctor and you are sick, the doctor will give you a prescription saying this medicine might cause a bleeding, heart attack, nerve problem, getting dizzy, blah 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 blah. Like, hold on, this is science. The science to help me in one thing will create 1 million problem. There's no science. Honest to God, guys, if I play for you the videos of those commercials, I'm sure you heard them. They're scary. The guy have a problem in his back, and then you give him medicine, and this medicine might kill him, might cause brain damage, might cause a brain bleeding, might cause nose whatever, might cause allergy, might cause. So where is the science? Why the science cannot give a medicine for every disease which is fit perfectly without making side effect? The problem is that science is nothing but a practice of trying. You know what I mean? They try on you the same as if you are a mice. And if this medicine work, it worked, but in fact this medicine will cause a lot of problem too. Where is the science of medicine? There is no science. It is a science of a practice. They try it. They keep trying. They go in the laboratory. They keep trying. Let us add this. Let us take this. Let us do this. And then, oh, it's working. Here we go. That is science. But this is not science. This is the science of a practice. Science, supposed to be, is a science of developing something from nothing. Because remember, those are atheists who don't believe in God. Science is to bring some dust, some whatever, and you mix it together with something and you make a human being. I want to see that. Until now is nothing but a science of numbers and mathematics based on practice, like how we can fly. But a human still cannot fly. He uses a machine to fly. He cannot fly. Can you make me have wings? That will be science. Because remember, they are talking about the science of developing the human being or a creature. I want to see a goat can speak. Why the science cannot make a goat speak? What happened? My phone can speak to me, a goat cannot. So the science is kind of, like kind of, let us say, big box full of the practice of mankind for thousands of years, which means the experience of a human being. From that experience, we developed a new experience, or let us say a new understanding. That's what they call it today, science. But science really does not exist. It is nothing but a practice. Until now, there's a disease killing millions of people every year. AIDS, cancer, you name it. And this science and this everything. I will believe in science when science can make us live forever. I will believe in science when science can make me stay 20 years and never grow. Which means I will never die. If you can do that, then we will forget about God, no problem. Let us see if you can do it. Keep trying. It's a joke. Let us see what Cole want to say. Yeah, science is kind of illusion of believing in something based on practice, and you think it's a fact. before I give the mic to Cole, I will give you an example. I believe that time will come, and the internet will go beyond imagination. Like right now, the internet is really nothing compared to what's going to happen in the future. So if I say something today, and I predict that time will come and they will be able to eat through the internet. It sounds crazy, right? And hard to believe. And then that thing happened. But today somebody proving me that this is impossible. So which one of them is going to be the science? The science will happen, or the science proving will not happen? The logic today, it says that will not happen. It cannot happen. Because this is hard to comprehend. Same as 100 years ago. If we say to them internet, people will laugh at you. Because it's hard to comprehend. So what people try to understand about God, about earth, about what's happening around them, is about how they can and what they can comprehend. Anything they cannot comprehend, they reject. Few 100 years ago, 100 years ago maybe, there was no radio. And then if you say to somebody, there's somebody speaking in New York, you can hear him in China, he will laugh at you. Because at that time it's impossible to comprehend. Not because there's no waves. The waves exist. But we did not discover it. So, did the science make the waves? No. Did the science discover the waves? Yes. So what the science do, the science discover things based on practice or sometimes like accidents. But that science is changing. It is what is known today, it might be, or to be a fact, it might be wrong tomorrow. Like, they told us for all the time when I was in school that Einstein, when he saw the apple fell down, sorry, not Einstein, Newton, right? When he saw the apple coming down, he discovered the gravity. And since then, they are teaching us anything big will grab anything small. And then after how many years, they found out that it's not true. That if an item is so small, the big thing will not grab it because the mass of the thing it's very light. This is why you see always dust flying in the wind. If you go in the basement and there's a light of the sun coming through the window, you will see how the air is full of things is flying. Like, what is that? Why they are not coming down? Because they are so small. The earth isn't grabbing them. But if you jump from the second floor, right away the earth will grab you. So for a long time they were teaching that anything fell from above will go down to the earth because the earth is big, you are small. And then they found that this is not true. So let us see what they will find not true of the science tomorrow. I don't believe in science as let us say as a fact as much I believe in it as a practice. As simple as that. The same as a doctor. Doctor, he practiced medicine on you. It work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. He might kill you. You might die. And many people, they die because of the science they claim. Because they practice things on you like a mice. You're Michael.
Yeah. I don't really have an issue with science. I mean, science has made a lot of people's lives better. Things like being able to cure diseases that we couldn't once cure and stuff like that. Those things are good. It lengthens our lifespans and things like that. That's good. The issue I have is that when people try to use it to replace God, that's one issue. A couple things. One, they don't really have a mechanism to deal with the miracle. When we're talking about religion, especially in the case of Christianity, we're talking about things that we know are miracles. You couldn't explain them scientifically. At least most of them you could explain them scientifically because they're miracles. That's the point. that's the point of it. You know. So really, the science isn't really the issue. It's the skepticism. You know, that's really the issue. And you know, like with this last guy, as I was explaining to him, you know, people, they'll have one set of standards when they're looking at things. I'll just say non-religious, when they're looking at secular things, like when they're examining history, as I was explaining to Kut Sai, whatever his name is. But when I mentioned, you know, the resurrection actually happened, well, suddenly there's a new set of standards. You know, there's a new set of standards. You know, the same thing that was good enough, you know, to prove that King Tut was a pharaoh in Egypt, you know, or that Alexander the Great lived, or anything like that, you know, Julius Caesar, or that standard, that's not good enough for the resurrection to him. He said, but that's what I mean, the changing in standards. You know, when issues of faith come into play, their skepticism outweighs, you know, their skepticism outweighs their scientific or scholastic discipline. That's the issue. Well, a minor issue. The real problem is just that he's a skeptic, and that along this line, the people who don't believe in it, they are the ones that make a leap of faith, so to speak, because it requires a leap of faith to not believe it. You know, it's like the Muslims, for instance, you know, and CP was speaking about earlier. No, it wasn't earlier. It was a video I was watching. In any event, talking about the crucifixion of Jesus, and that Allah made somebody else to look just like Jesus. Well, in order for that to be possible, everybody that knew him had to not be able to recognize him, including his mother. It takes a leap of faith to believe that. Likewise, all of these people, all of these apostles who were killed, knew Jesus when he lived, saw him die, and then said that they saw him alive after his death, and were executed for that. You know, these people, you have to accept that these people are lying, that they died sticking to a lie that they knew was a lie. You know, it's unrealistic, you know, and it's a complete shifting of standards, you know. But the real issue that I had here is the threat, you know, the real problem with stuff like Islam. So you get a guy like him, he probably was born into Islam, probably migrated to the West, someplace where he was able to, you know, examine other ideas freely, you know, without fear of being killed. But he gets buried under this mountain of lies and religious claims with no backing. You know, all the so-called miracles of Muhammad that don't have any evidence even in Islamic sources. You know, all of this, well, the Quran itself, all the claims that it makes, you know, inconsistent, which, you know, inconsistencies which he's really not, well, I can't say he's not free, but he's been influenced to overlook. Lots of lies and such have been made to cover them up. And so much stuff that he has to aggressively disbelieve in. So by the time he digs himself out from under that mountain, he's just so skeptical of anything like that, you know. But still, the goal has been accomplished. The goal of Satan has been accomplished. He's not looking at the truth. The fact is, all these so-called, remember when he said that Islam had these claims too? You know, Islam claimed these miracles and things like that. But now, really, it doesn't. And the claims that Islam does make cannot be supported even within Islam. It's self-contradictory. You know, Quran contradictory with itself, the Hadith contradictory with itself and with the Quran. But when he comes out of that, it serves to put up kind of a smoke screen, you know, from what we're trying to do, from the actual truth and facts and doctrine in Christianity, which can support itself, but you have to look at it. That's really the fear, you know, that's really the issue with the false prophets, such as Muhammad. You know, it leads people away from the truth. So with this guy, you have, you know, out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. I suppose I guess it's good that he's not Muslim, because at least he's not blowing people up and, you know, attacking people on Ramadan and such. But still, you know, there's one lie he doesn't believe in, but still doesn't know the truth yet. You know, and from point of view of his salvation, it's not enough for him to not believe in the lie. You know, he has to know the truth. And that's, you know, that's the thing, which is what I was going to point out to him. But he left. One, all these claims that Islam has, those are false claims. But they give him so many lies, they aim so many lies at him, that by the time he shuts down their lies, he's not open to the truth anymore. You know, that's the real issue. And that's what I would invite him to, again, examine the resurrection, and he will see that it holds up. And to be honest, that's really the only thing that matters. The one that we serve has power over death, you know, and will raise us up again, and he's proven that he can do that. That's the real issue. And this other stuff, you know, like you mentioned in Noah's Ark and other stuff like that, those are all lesser points, really debaters' tricks, so to speak. You know, questioning things to a degree that they don't question the science. You know, like they talk about the evolution and Big Bang, as CP was mentioning. You know, in order to buy into that, you know, you still have to accept that at some point, life that dead matter just came to life on its own. You know, at the end of the day, they still tell you that something, you know, everything comes from nothing. you know, some degree. Well, yeah, maybe I don't want to get into it. That's not really what I was trying to say, and not really the point I want to harp on. You know, my point is that those things are distractions. That's my point. Yeah, that's my point. And people use them as a distraction, and people bury their own religious perspectives in them. You know, when they really don't. They really. Well, I'll cut myself off right there. I've gone on long enough. SR, your mic.
Mic check. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. I want to say assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters in the room. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Ramadan. I hope that everybody has gorged themselves on what we're supposed to be considered fasting during this time. And I hope that some of my Muslim brothers and sisters have jihadied their way into the West or wherever they happen to be, and have killed infidels as we are supposed to do according to our great prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, so that way we can all live in a perfect utopia full of Sharia and much, much misery the world over. I don't know why, since the conversation is speaking about science, I don't know why no one has not marveled at the Islamic science with all due reverence. I don't understand why the world does not agree with the mighty Allah that says that Allah has placed on the earth mountains firm, lest the earth should shake with us. Clearly, mountains are the reason why we do not have earthquakes. This is scientifically proven. If you ask any scientist that knows science and is an expert in science, they will agree that such things are possible, and mountains are placed like nails from rolling up in a strong breeze. At the fig and olive, I speak the truth and only the truth. Yes, I also would like to point out that Islamic science is totally in line with creation. For example, humankind has been created, scientifically proven so, as a matter of fact, by tops that are experts in science. And they conclude that humans were created from a blood clot. It started from being a sperm cell inside of the woman for 40 days, and it's scientifically proven that this is the case. Anyone that disagrees with me is an infidel and is of the hellfires for all eternity, and anal flags and anal chains, and yes, and all of that. So I would hope that during this month of Ramadan, that everyone would consider the science of the Quran and Almighty Allah. Allah is all powerful. He's not quite so powerful. Well, actually, Allah is they, because there's at least two Allahs in the Quran. And there's a kind of Allah, so that means he's a species. Because we're speaking about science, the species of Allah is a self-replicating shin cell. And yes, I am. Thank you for noticing. I said my Bismillah over the pork, so it's halal pork, just so you know. And I do appreciate the fact that you are taking that into consideration, but also please make sure to know that Islamic science is verifiably proven, and subhanallah. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you very much. Guys, I really apologize. I can't stay longer. I am almost sleepy in my chair. Like a grandfather who is, this is what my grandfather used to do. I'm really tired. I did not sleep yesterday very well, and I have a lot of work to do in the morning too. So I want to say thank you. We are already online for 9 hours. And those who are on YouTube, thank you for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope the sound and the quality of the picture is better than before. And all of you have a good time. The video, the one I was talking about, yeah, actually, you see what happened, my computer crashed, and that's why I stopped working. I ordered a computer, and I just received it yesterday, and I worked all night to set it up. And still, I have not done really. I have a lot of files to move, because this computer is crushed. And each time I open it, it goes down, and I have to move the file from here to there. It's like stealing files, because it's, I don't know what to do. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, we will finish this thing, and people will love it. Anyway, tomorrow I will try to open again. Remember, tomorrow is Friday, right? So usually we open Friday. I will open tomorrow, maybe a little bit late, so I can give it more time to work on my computer. Until we see you tomorrow, I say, may the Lord bless you. And you want to be a believer or not, you want to be an atheist or not, trust me, for your security, for your best is to accept the teaching of the Messiah, because everyone else he teach nothing but evil. Even those who claim that they are open-minded, peaceful, go and see what they do with the Trump. They start burning banks, burning cars, but yet they are atheists. Violence has nothing to do with believing with God. If the God you believe in is a God of violence, you are a violent person. Our Lord, the Messiah, is the Lord of peace. He is the one who says, love your enemy. If you can come with better teaching than this teaching, please, we will follow you too. But you cannot. So I say, for your safety, for your security, even for your future and your children's future, the Messiah, he brings nothing but peace and love to this earth. And this is what the earth today needs most. More than money, more than food, more than anything you can imagine. If everybody practiced one sentence of the Messiah teaching, love your enemy, there's no poor will be sleeping in the street. For all the budget we spend over the army, we do not need it. All the money we spend for security and terrorism, we do not need it. All the killing we see done by Allah in the name of Allah, the name of Muhammad, and the filthy drug with Allah, we will not be worried about it. Just to practice one sentence. So I say to you, atheists, Muslims, whoever you are, bring me better than Jesus, and I will follow you. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. I mean to that, and we'll see you soon again. Bye-bye.